Gods will offer.
Hey there guys, so in this tutorial we're going to be covering the camera tracking to create a 3D space where the camera tracking process literally reads video, creates a 3D camera, and then we can put assets in there like lighting, shadow, assets, and so on. Now that we understand a little bit more about 3D cameras, 3D space, 3D layers, all that stuff, let's have some more fun. And for this, I'm going to use, like I said, for some reason, I don't think that video works. Let me see if it actually comes in. Oh, it does. Problem is, okay, it brought in this video, 1920 1080, and what is this video here? You see, it's an aerial drone footage. Very pretty, very clean. Just flying over this little grassy little area here, right? Now, it's a little bit too long for me, okay? It's because, as I said, this stuff does start to get a little heavy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to chop this down to like the first 4 seconds. Well, maybe I'll do 5. Composition settings. And I'm going to lop this down to 5 seconds of video instead of 10. But I do it this way, okay? So that's the original video, locked down to 5 seconds. Now I need to go to new composition. I'll call this now my camera track composition. And now I'll take the original comp that is now nested and I'll bring it in here so it's actually 5. Now the reason why I did that is because what I'm about to do, if I did it to this one, it would still track the full 10 seconds. But I don't want it to track the 10 seconds. I only want it to track this piece. And look what I'm going to do here. Effects, track camera. Now this is going to start doing a bunch of little calculating, okay? And it's going to start reading. You see, it's going to analyze. And it's going to spit out a 3D camera. Just like if I were to go to Layer, Create Camera. It's going to create a 3D camera that moves based upon what the video's camera did. And it does it by tracking little points in the video, you know, little pixels. So as those pixels come towards the camera, it's saying, oh, those pixels, those features are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the camera must be moving forward in Z space, you know, or back into Z. So this is a way, instead of animating the camera like I did last time, I can use a video to give me a moving camera. And you can do this with your cell phone camera. It's really, really neat. As long as it's not too chaotic and crazy, it can do it. But this is also why I'm only doing like 5 seconds and I'm not trying to do 20 seconds. So this is examples you see out there, you know, see here if I can find this really quickly. When you see like opening titles or special effects like something out of Lord of the Rings or something, and they've basically placed something in the video, but it's a moving video. So I always like to use the opening title credits for Panic Room because it's a very good example of a camera track with text. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Opening title Panic Room. Because what they do is they take video footage, it's like helicopter footage, and then they're able to track that camera and place text, place objects in that scene, in that video. See? So the camera is a drone or helicopter camera that's flying over the city, and you'll notice the text is in the video as if, see that? As if it belongs in there. This is camera tracking. See? But this would be no different if I had like a CG of a monster climbing up the building or something. I could do the same thing. And then you see there's shadow catching, there's reflection catching. See that? You see how it looks like it belongs in there? And that's because a 3D camera has been tracked based upon the video footage, and then they can place it in the video. You get an idea what this camera tracking can do. And by the way, there's lots of tutorials. I've got even my own out there. But you see it's still analyzing. Let's see, it says 82% done. You can see I can do based on a fixed angle, variable zoom, a specific angle. I'm pretty much flying on the same angle here, so it kind of works. Okay, you can see it's now solving, which means it's going to create a camera for me. I can say show track points. Tracking points are basically going to show me all the features that it used to track. See? And all I have to do is say create camera. And you see, it has now created a 3D tracked camera that replicates the movement of the camera in the video. And you also notice I've got these little features down there. These are called tracking points. And the closer they are, the larger they are. And the farther away they are, the smaller they are. And you also see I get this weird little kind of bullseye thing, which shows me, an area. So if I were to even draw a little lasso around there, you see that? Watch this now. Right click, create text. Okay, now watch what I can do with this text. It's automatically 3D. I can open the transform. See, rotate, I believe, is on the X to rotate it up. It's probably going to be 90 degrees, right? Because it's reading it as, 90 is a little extreme. We make the text a little smaller, right? Let's go ahead and turn off my outline. Let me get rid of this ugly text. Let's put something big and bold here, like an Arial. Now, for some of you, let's go with that Goth. There we go. But in many cases now, watch this. If I were to just hit the space bar, look at that. See that? It actually tracks it in its spot. So I can put anything I want there. I could say, let's go with a neat little blue-gray there. Okay. Let's go back to our camera tracker. Okay, let that pass by, and let's grab some points over here somewhere. Just do a lasso. That gives me my thing, so I can say, hey, create text. Click. Right? We're going to do the same thing we did with transform and a rotate X of, I think I said 80 was a good one. Because it doesn't exactly know what 90 degrees, because it's basically trying to just read the fact. It doesn't quite know. Okay, I could even, if I want to here, make this kind of rotate around like that just to get a little bit different of a layout, right? Activate my camera tracker. A little bit further here. Let's say this area right here. Come on, grab me some. Excuse me a second. Let's put one right there. Create text. I don't know, where am I? Ireland? I have no idea where I am. Ireland, right? So double click. Once again, we'll rotate. I know this already is 80 degrees that way. Maybe I'll rotate it just a little bit here. Oops. Whoops. This is relative to distance here, not necessarily relevant to distance, not necessarily scale. Now, great question here. People will say, okay, I get it now, but what's the point? Well, if I give myself just a little bit more room here until I can see my two views, okay, here's my top-down view now. So here's my camera. And you can see here where my camera is and the movement it's going to take. See? So it's going to animate along that path. And what's attached to the end of my camera is the actual video itself. So it's not, the video's not moving, the text is not moving. It's the camera that's moving through it. And that means we can do some really, really neat things here. One thing is, okay, I'm looking at my lighting here. Watch this, layer new light. I'm just going to go with a point light and have it be this nice, warm, kind of yellow light that seems to be here. Maybe make it a little bit lighter. Okay, and I'm going to say, does not cast shadow. And you see now my text is lit by that light. But then I actually have to have a light that casts shadows onto the ground. And that would be a light like a spotlight. That one, I'm going to make it be a cool light, just because you can see the sky is giving some of that more directional light. And I'm going to have my cast shadow on. Shadow darkness I'll turn down, maybe a little diffusion. Okay. Now the problem with my spotlight is, if you look at the directions of the shadows, the light is actually way over here. Coming back across my layers. See that? It's actually aiming right to left, because the shadow on those rocks and everything is all going in that direction. Problem is, of course, actually, where's my Ireland? Oh, see, my Ireland's all the way back there. That tells me what? I need my light even further away. So it's casting shadow in that direction. And that looks really cool in the way it's affecting the lights and everything. However, we still need to put some more cool things in here. Well, go ahead and grab it here. Highlight again my camera layer with my tracking points. See? Because what I need here now, I could probably do one big one if I chose. Okay? What do I need there? Look at this. Right click, create a shadow catcher. Right? Now that gives me, you see here, a shadow catcher where here it is in the top-down view. It's just a plane, but I need to make sure that plane, which doesn't, it only picks up shadows cast onto it, but it has to be big enough to catch the shadow cast by the word Ireland, which is right here. See, so that means that shadow catcher needs to be even bigger than that. Maybe I'll just move it over a little bit. But all this shadow catcher is going to do is catch the shadow cast by the text. So let's start with the word welcome. See how it's going to cast the shadow? Oh, and I might want to make sure here, this is another chance here, instead of top, maybe I need to go right-hand side here to see a spotlight. You might want to be a little higher up on the horizon. So you're aiming more down at our scene. See that? So let's go to the word welcome. Open it up. Go to the materials. Cast shadows is on. Accept shadows is on. Right? But again, remember, it's just a 2D layer. So this could be something where I switch from 3D to Cinema 4D. Let me just switch here, because I know this is going to really slow down my computer. And by switching to Cinema 4D, where's my shadow catcher at? Why did that do that? You see, it now is capturing the shadow cast. See the word 2? On. Only. Oh, why is it disabled? Maybe it doesn't like that. Let's go back to class 3. All right, you can see it is casting shadow now. The problem is I got to change my light. A spotlight, and increase the shadow, turn down the diffusion. Okay, and this is where I'm going to have some neat fun here. So the shadow catcher does not want to work here with the Cinema 4D. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and open up the word welcome, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit more so we start to see that cast shadow. Okay. This tells me my light still needs to be more up and down. See, I'm just aiming that more. There we go. See, I'm trying to get the word 2 to cast a shadow that mimics that rock there. See, so it actually gives off some shadow. Whoops. All right, let's turn off that 2 view. This be fit. So what did I just create? Hit the space bar. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Now it's not really happy that I moved the word Ireland, because you could see that's sliding. Maybe I'll undo before. Stop. But again, that's a pretty cool effect that we're doing there. And you see the word 2 is casting a shadow onto the ground. It's still a little diffused. That could all be corrected here by come in here and say no diffusion, massive darkness, and increase my intensity. Okay? And now you can see the word 2 is cast. And even here, the word Ireland's got a shadow connected to it. But the point here with the camera tracker is we're able to drop stuff into the scene. Not done with this yet. Okay, let's have some more fun here. Here's my video. Highlight the 3D cameras and lights. Okay, watch this. I'm going to go right here in the center, right click, create a solid. Okay, you see it, just drop the solid in there. Now, just like I did with the text, I'm going to rotate that up. Okay, now I don't want this to necessarily cast, well, I could probably, now I'm going to turn cast shadows off. And I'm going to make this just be a pretty big, large solid. As you see, I want it to kind of fit the screen here. So, scale. Now, it may not look like something special right now, right? It's just this big red solid. But why on earth am I using a big red solid for? Well, I used it just to place. I'm going to open up that solid, here it is right here, and say, hey, replace that solid with the green screen of a flock of birds. Okay, now of course that's just going to replace and turn it into a flock of birds, but now I can key, remember keying, key light, choose my green screen color, which is that, and now I have a flock of birds flying through my scene. Okay? And I'm literally flying through the flock of birds because they're where that solid was that I'm flying through. Because I told that solid to be in between the word Ireland and the word welcome. And that's pretty cool. So you can see just so much power here. There is actually an entire class, which I think they're readopting right now, called motion tracking. 1-point, 2-point camera tracking, rotoscoping. It's where I talk all about this stuff. I'm not done yet. And I know when you see this stuff, you start to say, hey, wait a minute, I've seen that in a Star Wars film. I've seen that in a TV commercial. I've seen that, in a special effects film or something like that. Let's highlight our layers again here. And I'm going to put one way back here. Okay, let's go ahead and put another solid. So all I'm doing is just putting objects in space and distance. Okay, I'm going to tell this, of course. I could probably get away with not telling it to cast, or leaving the shadow on. Now that's a purple tracker, purple solid. Replace it with what? What do I want to replace it with? I can replace it with anything. I can put the couch out there. I can put the window out there. I could put video out there. You see here. I know I've got something here that's really stupid. Right? Put that. Looks like it needs a little bit of spleen mat. This is not a very good green screen, you can see. Play around with clip black. And what did I just put in there now? Well, oops. looks like I'm going to turn off shadows so we can see him. And I'll turn off lights.
Chaos. An antidote to the sorrow.
So imagine if I filmed on a green screen. Now again, he's cut off here. It's just this silly Shia LaBeouf one. Now again, the problem, of course, is that, but he's in the scene talking. I just need to do a lot of trimming because he doesn't do a whole heck of a lot till the very end of the video. So I can go find green screen footage of a T-Rex and put it in the scene there and have it cast shadows just by keying out the green. Or if I rendered something out of 3D, like, I don't know, a robot or something in a 3D package, I could put that in there. Because it already has a PNG sequence, so it would be transparent. I'm trying to find a good part of where he's losing his mind in this video. But of course, it does cut him off at the knees, so it's not a very good example. It goes on and on. So even like the flock of birds there, I could put those in. Just an annoying video clip. It's him basically. I should trim it off and get talking on green screen, all kinds of crazy stuff. Come on, Shia, you're killing me here. Ah, well, I'm not going to waste my time. But, yet again, obviously he would be put to scale, right? Because right now he's just this giant. But the point simply is, if he was just this tiny little asset animated or filmed against a green screen, right? I could put him in there and make him look like he's actually in the scene as on camera is flying by. I just think that's really neat. And of course, then you could even add, like I say, depth of field to the camera based upon. Let's let this play through in real time. See, even the birds, because they're in front of the word Ireland, look like they fly past the word Ireland. Really neat stuff that we can do here with this. I should just have a better piece of footage of him. And if you don't know, this is the green screen footage of him when he's just raging about, don't let your dreams be dreams. There, that's a little bit of piece there of him just standing there reading or something like that. course, he's cut off at the legs, so. But this is visual effects. This is how the Hollywood guys do it, and people are shocked when they find out. You mean that's just After Effects? Yeah, it's motion Photoshop. I'm image manipulating here. That's it. Just cutting it, grabbing sources, resources, video content, footage, photographs, putting them in a 3D space. It's a lot quicker to use this software and do it this way than to try to do it inside of a 3D software like Maya, or inside of a 2D animation software like Toon Boom or something like that. After Effects is your compositing element. This is where you put it all together. And it is a lot quicker than those other packages. So that, like I say, I don't need to animate it against a film in Maya. I can animate it and then use After Effects.
Gods will offer you chances.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, my RAM preview is getting slower and slower and slower. See if it'll cast shadow there. Yeah, it looks like it's casting shadow now. So, let me just save as, before we render this off, this 2. And let's go ahead and send it off to our encoder. So, purpose of today, like I said, was to show you how to recreate 3D space completely, right? By creating your own camera and stacking up your layers, foreground, middle ground, background, adding lighting, you know, keyframing the camera, moving through the scene. And then this one, I'm like, hey, we could even just use moving footage. And use that to recreate and do everything we need to do. All right, let's see what this timeline is here. Should go a little bit quicker because there's much less keyframes here, right? It's just the camera's the only thing that's been keyframed over time. So it's telling me preview remaining 393, it might be 3 minutes. Don't forget, guys, if you're going to do that, you might want to come here and purge your memory. Come on. Oh, come on. Give me my memory back. Especially if you're done. All memory and disk cache. What are we talking? 8 gigs? 9 gigs? How much do you eat? Tell me. Go on. Okay, it's not happy. Let's try that again.
You okay?
Yeah, After Effects is locked up because all my RAM must be going to the rendering here. I wanted to clear out the cache. Let's see here. It says it's got 15 seconds. We'll just let this finish. 5, 4. Toaster. Go. You also notice I'm always cleaning out my media encoder because I don't leave it open. There we go, and it says 3.4 gigabytes. Yeah. The other thing that's really neat about doing this kind of process here, you know, with doing the camera tracking, is I don't even really need my video in here, right? If I turn off some of these things, like the shadow catcher and everything, look at this. It's literally animating the camera based upon the video. So just that is pretty cool. That's why I say you can, the first version I did today, I showed you how to animate the camera. Well, you could use your cell phone to give you the movement you want. So you put some objects on a table and you fly your cell phone camera, right, through some objects, do the camera track, and you now have using, it's like motion capture camera, kind of like what, what they're doing in Avatar, right? Where you see James Cameron holding this tablet and he's literally representing the 3D camera. Well, that's real time. This is simply saying, hey, use the video to give me a camera. New project, don't save. All right, how much RAM did just that eat? Let's see, 101 megs. And what is this project?
Gods will offer you chances.
Let it play through once or twice.
Take them. Gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. Gods will offer you chances. Know them.
So you see, he's even casting a shadow from himself. Imagine if he was actually like walking around, moving around, throwing his hands up. He would look like he's actually there. So it could be any kind of green screen footage or any kind of CG element. I could have some kind of like Star Wars robot or moving along the ground here, and it would look like it actually is there. Well, as long as it's staying put. If it was moving, I'd have to keyframe that, right? These are meant for staying put, to look like they're tracked into the shot. I think those birds look pretty darn good. They're a little out of focus. Now you see the shadows. Look how nice the shadows came out.
Gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. Gods will offer you chances.
I'd really like to have a better version of video there. Where'd that go? There it is. All right, so knowing that, let's do one more example just to show you just how simple or the potential of what you can do here. Oops. Okay, space cameras. And I'm going to use that dock footage now. Okay. Drag that down there. Animation. I'm not going to trim this. It looks a little long, but I should be able to work. Track camera. It's going to analyze it, right? You're going to see initiating, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, etc. Now, this is where this drone camera is going to, fly along this dock and kind of take off or something like that. So, what do I want? Text? Do I want logos? But the cool part about it is it's going to give me my animated camera, so I don't even have to use the footage if I want. It's a great moving camera. That's going to kind of, almost looks like it's taking off. But the point is, it's giving me this 3D space capability. And so eventually, as you get way near the end here, it's moved that much far in space, in Z space, so you're not it's going to eventually leave the dock, and now you're out here, and I can put objects all the way out here. I could put little pieces of video footage in there. I could put green screen visual effects elements. Like if I wanted to make it look like Shia LaBeouf is in the back here in this thing. Let's see, maybe I can do that while it's still going. So it's still analyzing here. Not a big deal. So let's find that better. It's still analyzing 46% of that track. So I'm just going to switch to there, this. But this again is part of that process I was mentioning before, that if you need to do trimming and cropping, it's almost better to do it separately and then bring it in. So here is this Cheleblet, right? We're talking approximately 13 seconds. So I'm just making a new comp, and that way I can come in here, do all the trimming I want to with this clip of Shia. You can see it's just a big long clip, and this is why I couldn't find the piece I was after. So I'm just trimming it off here, trying to find the end of it, the part I want. It's not really a piece I wanted. I wanted to have a little bit more action. Fix this problem. No fun if he's not moving around, right? That's oh, wait. Yeah, there he is raging. Okay, this is what I was looking for.
So just do it! Make
Was that you yelling?
Oh, that's the video. That's not me. That's the video I was looking for. I apologize for it screaming at us, okay? But that's the piece I was looking for the whole time I was doing all this. Crazy Shia doing his thing. All right. Now, why am I doing it like this? Because watch this now, okay? This is where I'm just going to toss this back into Adobe Media Encoder and trim it all off now. That's why I'm saying sometimes it's best to do all the trimming you need here while you got it right here and now. Come on. All right, good, 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 good. High quality, sure. It's not 1920 1080. That's okay. We'll say Shia Rage green screen edited. I'm gonna put this in the right folders it needs to be, so I don't have to do this again. Okay, there. That shouldn't take long. All right, meanwhile, right, I can get rid of these. I don't need this anymore. I don't need comp 1 anymore because I'm just give me the video. Okay, and now this, you see, should be finishing and almost ready for me to create my new camera. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, great camera. All right, I'll let you finish. All right, so
What'd you say?
just letting it finish. So now I got the camera, and you can see, there we go. You see all the points along the dock here. Okay, so if I start at the very beginning here, okay, I can select there, right click, I can put text there. Now, you see, it's trying to guess how to put the text in there, but it's not perfect. Okay, so you might have to come in here. Right? You might have to come in and play a little bit with some of these rotationary elements. Okay, so I know I need to lift this text up. So that might be, 90 or something like that. But you see, it also wants me to adjust it in the Y. Now I've got light on dark and dark on light situation here, so I'm gonna make that be B. And I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up into the air. Okay. So I get light on dark, dark on light, stands out, looks pretty good. Might need a little bit of rotationary element here. What would that be? Not that. A little bit of that. There we go. Okay, so look, now I'm going to fly by the word text. And I don't leave the word text or select this, further, right? Find a little zone here, right click, create text. Let's go ahead. Got to do the same process, right? Come down here. Whatever it is, let's say 90, that was 39 or something like that, rotated this way. A little bit on the axes. Right. Oops. You see, we still have to mess around with scale. Yeah, somehow or another that scale got way off. So again, as the camera is moving through, you can see it's going to go past the camera. Do another one. There. Create text. Y-O-U-R, your, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Now I got that one going, right? Start at the beginning, and you can see what we're doing is See? Don't let your, and they're there in place. I'm using the dock to kind of place them in space in Z, you know, back into distance. Forward, middle ground, background. But then I just moved them up into the sky so that they're still tracking properly, right? So I get all the way to here. Stop. Done. Clear that out. Fine. Here it is. Green screen, edited, copy. Put this in the folder.
This video is going to be a 2-hour.
Last name is let me just drop it. I know. I don't have much more to go over today, guys, so I'm just gonna finish this up and then we'll do a little Q&A. See if anybody has any last minute questions. Because, like I said, a lot of this 3D layers I've already shown you. I just wanted to show you just a lot of cool more stuff. All right, so like right here. One more. Okay, so let's bring that one in. Okay, so now I got him here. Whoops, I didn't want that there. Let's see. Right, because I don't need to do it there. Back up. Because I want to get that lock in right there. Here. Effects, highlight cam. And you see I'm going to put him right inside here. Trying to get it flat. Like I said, it's planar. If I put it sideways, you'll put it there. I'll put it right there. Okay? Create that solid. Now that I've got that solid there, you can see, of course, how I need to nudge and adjust that solid where Y is up. I have it facing right at the camera here. Trying to get that X, Y, Z all angled properly. And then if I want, I can replace that solid. See? Right click, replace it with what? Well, replace it with that little video I made. See? Effect. Here. Key light, eyedropper, choose that green, for some reason it gave me a black outline here, which I don't know why. Let's see what this needs to be. And I'm gonna crop it so that it's just him in there. Now be aware, it looks really blurry here because, again, remember, I'm in quarter quality. But cool part is, he's at the end of the dock. And yeah, I did cut his feet are cut off there. But for the length of the video, keep watching the end of the dock there.
Do it!
Oh, sorry. Loud. Sheesh. Hear to my audio.
Do it!
Now it's got a RAM Preview 3, so it's going to sound really weird until we get... So this is kind of like a kinetic type, right? Because he's actually going to say, don't let your dreams be dreams. But I'm flying through a video and I'm putting him at the end of it. Think of like a music video or a tourism video or something like that. And there he is at the end of the dock, animated keyframe.
Do it! Just do it!
And again, this is what happens when you preview it, right? And every time it gets a little faster and a little faster and a little faster. Where watching at that speed or half size will probably play the whole thing properly.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it! Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow.
So you see him in the bottom corner there.
Do it!
He's actually animated or moving, and it's a video, it's keyed green, and it's just a really cool way to kind of pull something like this off. I know it's not perfect. We'll go ahead and save it as. And let's put a note 3 here. So 3D space cameras and lights, it's up to you guys what you do with it. I'm just showing you far more advanced than what we've seen so far with some of the basics of the 3D. You guys have to just choose, all right, I have to do a project that involves 3D space cameras and lights. And it could be an announcement, it could be an advertisement, it could be playing around with some opening title, or in this case, it almost was like a motivational kinetic type. Completely up to you guys to choose how you go about that. And let me just change this to here. Up to okay. Let's encode it. While that's finishing up, come here and new project. Actually, I can open project. Because project 2, now that I got the right video, I can replace it with that. 2, open. Now remember, I have all that RAM it took to load up that that clip I just tried to preview. So even after this opens, I'm going to purge that last project. Come on. There we go. Purge. Disk cache. There's 11 gigs. Let's see. 10 gigs. See just how unhappy it is when I'm rendering in the media code and doing this here. 2.3. Not bad. But like I said, I could come here. All I gotta do is find this guy here. And just right click and replace this with that new version that I was wanting here. Oh, you are so unhappy, Mr. Computer, are you? Come on. Let's see. Oh, that's doing its thing. So again, lots of cool stuff with 3D we can play with. I took you guys even further down the rabbit hole to showing you camera tracking and full-on building 3D scenery and sets, foreground, middle ground, background, more advanced camera techniques. Now, a lot of those are projects that you'll find in much greater detail, like in the, whatever the Broadcast Graphics 2, which is I think called motion tracking, which I teach. But it's good to see it here because you can see the potential of what you can do with the software. Besides just making stuff move around, you can now go into scenes, you can build scenes, you can work with video and graphics and animation and text and effect layers like green screen. It's just really, really neat that you have that at your fingertips here. All right, so here, yeah, see all I gotta do is right click here, replace footage file with the new one, the edited version. And get a much better version of what I was trying to achieve before. Well, that's not right. Oh, that's because I assumed probably.
That's okay.
Get rid of you. I did that. There. No. Shy on me. There. Give me the sound. Okay. The sound. Let's put this here. Move towards the camera. Down, just like so, back to the project, place that purple solid with the video version I want. So, yeah, that's the green screen. Just a bit more cleanup on this because you can see it rendered it with a black background. So that is masking it off. Pen tool. And a key light. Take out the green. And then adjustment to the matte. And there you have it, right? And now you can see him in the field doing his thing. Oh, wait. It's not one more thing. Let's. And there he is. He's doing his animation, right? So imagine if he was walking around with feet, or I could put him, I don't know, I could put him on top of the tee.
Do it!
So, very cool that you can do this stuff. Like I say, have some fun, play around with it all. I'll get these all kind of figured out here. I'll get the videos of today's recording.
Gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make